The outward. Are I feeling like a nice wife? Admittedly, I could do better. Do I believe I'm a decent mother? I really am the finest, yes. I was 22 years old and Tom was 32 when we first met. Before getting married, we dated for 2 years, and at the age of 25, I had twin daughters, Tara and Sarah. I've never had a happier day in my life. I've always desired motherhood. I took a parental leave 6 weeks before they were born, and I never worked again. Some mothers would not let me feed their child, but I liked it. From the time they were babies to their teens, I enjoyed shopping for their outfits. In addition to being a school trip parent, I also volunteered as a den mom and a PTA mom for other events. I was acquainted with the parents and acquaintances of each girl. I attended all of their school events as well as any other activities they had. I was the person they came to when they had problems and the shoulder they wept on. My life revolved on the girls. Are currently away at college. Tom is 55 and I am 45. Tom worked for a corporation. When we first met, Tom was already an executive moving up the corporate ladder, while I was merely a secretary. Tom became a CFO at 40. Naturally, Tom was doing well, but he still traveled frequently. That's where the issue is. I was by myself at home now. My cravings were always met when Tom was around. I had girls when he was away. I am always so needy, especially now that the girls are gone and I have nothing to distract me. I made an effort to be moral. To take my mind off my driving, I go out to clubs and spas with my friends, take care of the house, shop, cook, and do anything else comes to mind. Regardless, the ladies are starting their junior year, and Tom hasn't decreased his pace of travel. To be a good wife, I tried. Yes, I tried. I was so familiar with the cashiers from my frequent trips to Walmart for batteries. Let me tell you, I have an addiction. Both my therapist and doctor assure me that I am in perfect health. I'm really dependent on others. Oh no, I cheated on Tom because I couldn't stand it any longer. I know I'm a lousy wife. Yes, I am aware. I made plans and plots. Nobody is ever going to know. Who should I pursue in order to sate my craving? Not old, I was old before. Tom had amazing bonding when he was younger. Don't get me wrong, I still think Tom is fantastic. I wouldn't be angry if Tom were here and we were sharing a couple nights of sleep together. However, he isn't. Tom has slowed down a bit at 53. I once believed I had murdered him when we were fighting fiercely. It seemed like I was back in the Old West, riding my spouse. His recuperation period has not been the same. However, that's all right. I will never cheat on Tom again because I love him and I will stop traveling. The issue is that I have no idea when or if it will cease. I thus made plans and plots. I gave it a lot of thinking. And that's when I had the idea. Students in college. A wife who would reject me as attractive as I am. I required guidelines. Safety measures are essential. STDs are harmful and have been linked to divorce. Embracing. Not a kiss. I once watched a TikTok movie about the Mustang Ranch, where they checked their patrons for things like clogged sources and STDs. To be able to do the same, I have to watch some YouTube videos. Tom, I need to ask him to give me more money. He doesn't question the amount of money I receive. All I have to do is figure out a reason why I require more. I mean, I'm not going to change what I'm doing now. I must have my spa treatment. But I can't tell Tom that I need to sleep with college kids because I need money for petrol and motels. Hold on, games. Tom will hear me mention that I've located a college student who tutors basketball. Tom was not understanding the concept of the kitchen and knowing when to enter and exit it when I tried to explain basketball to him. Tom, that chauvinistic man told me that women are the only ones who belong in the kitchen. So she can't cheat on her husband while he's working hard to maintain the family. She's pregnant and barefoot. I'm a horrible spouse. Now is the moment to implement my strategy. Tom was away somewhere in Greenland, somewhere in Iceland. I was safe as long as it wasn't Long Island. The most challenging aspect of my strategy was locating a college bar sufficiently remote from my hometown, and I also had to take care to avoid sleeping with someone my children knew. How do I hide my identity? That would function. I would be undetected as I searched for my suitor. I felt uneasy. On her wedding night, I was as anxious as a newlywed. A few heads were turned when you pulled up to the bar. They were taken aback when a gorgeous woman got out of a brand new yellow Corvette. My husband is doing well, and by well, I mean affluent. I signed certain papers when we got married. I became a trophy wife, and if I ever screwed up, I would be broke. That's another reason I can't be caught. If Tom kicked me out, I couldn't even afford a cardboard box. I'm a thinker, so I put on a brunette wig, brown contacts that made my eyes brown, and deeper eyebrow contacts that were washable. I didn't think about my yellow baby, because any of my daughter's friends would know that car. It was too late to turn back now. All right, I inhaled deeply and entered the pub. License? Inquired the doorman. I gave him a 5-star rating and walked in, not bothering to show anyone my license. I merely carried on walking when I was told, you need a stamp to get a drink. Very guy isn't very smart if he believes I need a stamp on my hand to prove to the bartender that I am of legal drinking age. I say he should marry someone wealthy. As I approached the bar, I got a lot of stares from the girls. Some seemed to be wondering why a woman was in their pub, while others seemed to be trying to get a glimpse of this woman. Although I had never been attracted to ladies in that way, I wasn't ruling it out just yet since I needed the connection that came with it. I stood at the bar waiting for someone to give me a drink, but these cheesy dudes said, "I guess times have changed." I was about to purchase a drink for a guy, so I was rather afraid to say, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" His girlfriend said, "You can buy him a drink if you buy me one too, I suppose." I bought them each a drink and left. I'm hot as hell. All the men at the club check me out and get slapped by their wives for looking, the woman said, summarizing the disastrous evening. I was on the edge of tears, so I gave it one final shot. Screwed it, I got nothing in this place. What's up with these boys? Am I not as hot as I thought I was? Hey child, why are you standing here by yourself in this bar with all the attractive girls? You want a drink, kid? I'll buy it. He shrugged, his bashful demeanor evident. Yes, please, but may I have an orange and amaretto instead? A what? Yes, child, do as you please. Why the hell am I walking to the bar instead of sending the kid with a few bucks? Who the hell drinks orange juice and amaretto? How may I help you? Questioning the bartender. I offered the bartender my drinks and said, an amaretto and orange juice and a wine spritzer. I also left him a big tip and said, thank you. I turned around and struck up a conversation with the young man, figuring that since he was a virgin, he wouldn't know what to do with himself. To get this guy wasted on amaretto and loosen up, I had to spend a ridiculous amount of money, but it was well worth it. This child was obviously in a sexual mood. Have you ever been with a woman before? I said. No, he said, staring embarrassedly down at his feet. It was quite cute. Well, you're in luck tonight. People were wondering what was going on when this youngster jumped into the passenger seat. I started the motor, and we were off. The kid followed me like a lost puppy. We made it to the other side of the corner and had to stop so this poor child could puke up. I guess too much orange juice and amaretto can make you ill. I apologize, he said. I had breath mints, hand wipes, and, let's not forget, protection. Regular, large, extra large, large X, and Magnum, because, well, you never know. I was like, it's fine kid, here let me clean you up. It was the most awkward bonding I had ever experienced, but I liked this child. I really did, after I checked us into the motel. He had no self-confidence at all. From our talk, I deduced that the boy was a geek, albeit a brilliant one. Not only that, but I could assist this youngster get some confidence. God knows he needs it, because without me, this child would have graduated from college a virgin. He began to call me by name and said, kid, you're just a toy to me. Don't care. Oh, okay. Would you be interested in becoming my go-to toy? I guess okay. This kid is going to require a lot of work. A little bit more enthusiasm, kid. Give me your phone, I said, putting my number under MILF in his phone, texting myself a hello, and adding him as kid in mine. You never text me or give me a call. You only respond to my texts by telling me that you're available for a screwing session. Are you following? Yes. Next week, I'll meet you here at this motel. What is the scheduling for your classes like? I inquired. Well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are my statistics classes. Business mathematics activated. Slow down there, kid. I don't need to know your major, the classes you're studying, or your GPA. I just want to know if afternoons work better than evenings and do you have night classes that would prevent you from sleeping me. Oh sorry, I'm free every night and I don't have any classes on Wednesdays. Okay, I'll meet you here next Wednesday at 2. I have a nail appointment at 1. I would like to express my gratitude. I gave this lovely little boy a quick kiss on the cheek and walked away. I can only make up so many excuses. For example, tonight, I took a few migraine pills, and it knocked me out. That's what I'm going to tell Tom tomorrow when he asks where I was. Tom, don't get mad at me, I will tell him, but I washed my migraine pills down with wine and it just knocked me out. He'll get mad and tell me to never mix medicine and alcohol. Okay, so afternoons are better for me. Such a Boy Scout as Tom. Well, that's how my toy and I met. I apologize to kid, I shouldn't have said it that way. Take a look. The girls at your college will be waiting up to get slept by you. I swear to you, I will make you into a pleasure machine. The young person smiled and remarked, I'd like that. This guy is adorable, but he's going to require a lot of work. I bet you would, kid. My spouse will spend the next 2 weeks at home. So, please don't call me, I'll call you instead. Yes, I do comprehend. What size am I? 2. My beloved plaything. Kid, you're an extra large. I had to giggle. Okay, I'll buy a box for next time. That's 36 protection. I'm hoping we can get you down to 2 or 3 each time we meet. Tom was home for 2 weeks, and he even made an effort to get home before 6 every day. We spent the weekend seeing the girls, staying at a nearby hotel. To put it mildly, that jacuzzi is going to require a thorough cleaning. During those 2 weeks, I spent so much time sleeping with Tom that he was eager to board his flight to China or Japan, whichever country he was visiting. It only took 3 days for me to require my toy again when Tom went, even though I missed him. Hello, this is me. I'll see you on Wednesday at 2 at the same motel if you get those protections. All right, child, are you prepared for this lesson? He smiled and added, I'm going to do everything in my power to last longer for you this time. I got you a little something to help you until you can on your own. Kid, I just want you to have fun and relax. The bands will assist, but you must also exercise restraint. Yes, I will. I swear. He was gone in about 15 seconds, even with those bands. I'm sorry. It's okay, kid. It takes time, but we'll get there. He said, can we meet again? Thus, we followed the advice of Kid. I think you may need 2 times a week. We got together twice a week over the next year while Tom was away and the girls weren't staying at home. On his birthday, I even took the child out and purchased him a beautiful Christmas present. He had progressed exactly as I had predicted, but it wasn't simple. Well, there was that one afternoon when I just gave up. I was in need of some fun. I thus picked up a 6-pack of Mike Ultra on my way to the accommodation. I didn't want whiskey guy, I just wanted that youngster to unwind. I made sure he drank just enough to prevent him from approaching too rapidly. It took 4 beers to work. I was duped for an hour by the guy. I began taking him out for lunch, far from anyone I might know, and wherever we ended up, we would find lodging. You drive today, kid? Are you sure? I mean this in an expensive car. Please just don't wreck my car. I don't want to have to tell my husband why a kid in his 20s was operating my vehicle. You pay attention to the road and not me, the child said, grinning. Just unwind. The child lived a longer time than usual. Coming was less important to him than smashing a $200,000 automobile. There were several near misses. When the automobile was all over the road and we could hear cars honking their horns from behind or even in front of us, I knew he was almost here. We avoided being stopped, which pleased me. I persuaded him to prefer scotch over amaretto. That is, scotch with soda. For him, straight scotch was too much. I had to tell him that scotch was meant to be sipped. I didn't want whiskey person. I gave him enough water to last for 45 minutes. I was also teaching him how to be a gentleman. Even my underwear was on for him. The child improved greatly. He could now stay sober for a solid 30 minutes. I had been nudging him, telling him to watch adult content on videos. Make an effort to wait as long as possible to arrive. It was functioning. One thing bothered me, though. I felt like the child was falling for me. Kid, are you using what I've taught you to find yourself a girl? Not really, he replies, still too bashful to venture out alone. Listen, kid, you gotta get out there and start hitting on girls your age. We're going to the bar set tonight. What about your husband? I'll worry about him, you just worry about yourself. You have got some muscle, so wear a shirt that shows it off. Not too tight. I hate guys that show off, and so do most girls. When I arrived, he was already in his car, ready for the big night. I put some fragrance on him and said, okay kid, it's showtime. You enter first, and I'll tell you which girls to approach. Don't begin with, can I also get you a drink? Take note of anything that makes the female stand out from the crowd and use that information to start a conversation. Be truthful, avoid lying. You seem shy, but you're cute. That appeals to girls just as much as a self-assured male. This child is just too shy. To provide him with a clear view of myself and the person I was pointing at, I stood near a round table. I waved the child over to me and said, kid, go to that redhead and say, you deserve better than order her a drink. Whatever she's already drinking, then turn and walk away. I saw this lovely redhead fighting with some guy who was talking to another girl. It was time for revenge. Everything went as planned. She trailed behind him and they spent the entire evening seated at a table chatting, so I waved goodbye. I texted him Tuesday night, asking if we were still together or if he had a girlfriend at the moment. In response, he said, is 2 at the motel convenient for you? Though I was also hoping the redhead would work out for him, I really like this boy. I'll see you there, kid. As soon as we entered our room, I immediately questioned, so what happened? It was a pleasant girl. She was in a relationship with the guy. Karen, who lives on Long Island but attends an upstate school, discovered her partner was unfaithful to her when she surprised him at home, as I had anticipated. And, well, kid, don't be shy around me. Did you hook up? Yes, but you were better than her. And what's next for the 2 of you? She told me that her partner never treated her badly or was around for as long as I was. We decided to maybe get together when she got back home. See, I told you girls would want you. I guess so. Wife, I have a question for you. Yes, child, what's going on? Why do you deceive your spouse? Listen, I adore my spouse above all else, but we travel a lot, and I feel lonely or dependent on our time together. I do have one more. I've been watching dirty videos as you told me, and we already do most of what I see online. But spit it out, kid. Do girls find this style appealing? I smiled and said, I can tell you that I don't, but many women do. Oh, I'm okay. I was teaching the boy how to pleasure a woman, so I knew he wanted to give it a shot. Should I just do it? Oh, heck, why not? Listen, kid, it hurts to get your back screwed up. No way. Will be the reaction of some girls upon seeing that monster, but I let you try it once if you want to. That's okay, hot wife. I just wanted to know if it was something I would have to do to keep a woman happy someday. Kid, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. I love this kid. You don't have to if you don't feel comfortable doing it to her. Thank God I was spared that bullet, or large body, in this case. When Tom was at home one day, I was sipping wine and he inquired how my gaming lessons were going. The wine flew out of my mouth and I coughed, making it look like it had gone down the wrong pipe. Are you all right? Tom inquired. Yup, wrong pipe. My instructor tells me I'm improving, but I just think he's being nice to me. It was Wednesday and Tom was gone once more. Hey kid, do you know how to play games? I do. We learned in high school gym class, and I play on Sundays. Good, because I need lessons. It started to become a Wednesday ritual. At 11, we began our meetings. I would divert his attention while he drove. We came across a court where we could play. After lunch, we would have spent the remainder of the afternoon sharing a bed. We even began playing with two ugly old women. They didn't find the game enjoyable. Their goal was to take human life. However, I was improving, and while we occasionally won, the match would never come to pass. Betty, that woman, would give me the L sign on her forehead, meaning loser. That woman. It's a competitive game and the old people love it. The child replied, my grandparents live in Florida in a retirement home, 55 and older. They have competitions every weekend. I was actually improving, so I believe the child was simply being reserved. Take that woman. I struck the elderly man in the head with the ball. Her friend Carol simply laughed at her. Our first game was finally won by us. Loser. Loser buys lunch. We went to lunch together, but we did so while laughing. They turned out to be all right. When Betty asked, the child excused himself to go to the restroom. So, is that guy sleeping with you? Carol yelled. Betty, stop it. What? You think a cute kid like that is just friends with this? I ended our conversation. Hot wife. Carol questioned, are you too? Yes, my husband travels a lot. Mine did too. I wish I had the guts to find someone to have fun with me on the side, remarked Carol. Carol said, I'd like him to sleep me now, as she and I both glanced at Betty. Carol answered instantly. We three burst out laughing when the child returned, saying, Betty, with your old dried up body, you'd need a can of WD-40 to slide anything in it. What's so funny? Carol said, Betty wants you to sleep her, which made us laugh even more when the child blushed. Meeting Carol and Betty to play games during Tom's absence turned into a routine. Now that summer had arrived, the twins were at home and employed part-time. The child also held a summer internship of some sort. Thus, social gatherings had decreased in pace. We had gone from occasionally getting together several times a week to just getting together on Wednesday afternoons. He informed this employer that he had other commitments on Wednesdays, thus he couldn't work. As I mentioned before, this youngster was a geek who was taking online classes during the summer rather than having fun. He would be completing online quizzes, and I would be keeping him busy. Girl, you better take care of me first. I can't fail this class. I thought this child was cute. He too would eventually find a wonderful girl. And at last he did. All good things must come to an end, as the saying goes. The twins were at work, Tom was out of town, and I met the child at the motel for our weekly Wednesday bonding time. He assured me that all he wanted to do was chat, not play games. I felt that he had met someone, therefore I was thrilled. The young man was just seeing girls on the side, but he had his eye on one of the interns. I went shopping with him, and he would ask me where he could take her for dinner. Kid, talk to me, what's up? Hot wife, I met someone, and I really like her. Kid, that's great. Look, I knew this would never last forever. You're like 10 years younger than me. The child grinned at me. Okay, maybe 20 years give or take a year or two. We both chuckled. Do you want to tell me about her? Is it the one from where you're interning? Yes, she's smart, has a nice personality, and funny too. If the internship works out well for me, we'll both be doing a semester internship together next semester. And she goes to school in Connecticut, so if I take the ferry, it's only an hour from Bridgeport. That's great. I hope it works for the two of you. I have to thank you too. I questioned, for what? This girl laughed. She loves bonding almost as much as you do. If it weren't for you, I don't know if I would be able to keep up with her. And when I said that I wasn't into the whole messed up thing, she said that she would never ask again. Kid and I were having a casual drink, scotch, and soda as we were talking. Kid, how about one more time for old time's sake? The child's modest dose of scotch did wonders. I lost count. That was the longest he had ever lasted. Even my own rules were broken. I doubt he noticed that the brow cover-up rinsed away. He was thinking about something. So, the shower was enjoyable for us. I promised to never do it again unless I'm in the shower and I ask her first. I gave the child another kiss and said, good boy. He asked to show me a picture of his girlfriend as we were getting ready. I became eager to observe his performance and my own performance in providing him with the necessary confidence. I was crying when he showed me the photo, but I still gave him a cheek kiss and said, she's beautiful, I'm so proud of you. I would stay at the motel, fix my hair, remove the wig, and groom myself. Since I knew it would be the last time the child and I would ever be together, I took my time cleaning up. Not as my toy, however. I was facing a greater issue now. His partner is Tara, my daughter. Perhaps I'm not really the best mother. My comment, she lets her hormones overrule her brain and her heart. She does have an attractive self-deprecating sense of humor and seems like a generally nice person. But she's not a good wife. It is sad to have this kind of woman as your wife.